our next guest is the little Carter brother, and he made a name for himself in the late 90s and early 2000s. He's had a number of amazing hit albums, tons of world tours, and now he is all grown up. And he's here today to tell us about his concert at the House of Blues last night. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you. How's it going?
Nice
Hi.
to have you.
Thank you so much. How y'all doing?
The day after your birthday, we hear.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
What a good way to celebrate your birthday with us
I know.
girls.
I still had like blue fingers from the cake yesterday.
So what's been going on with you?
All kinds of things. I've just been in, rebuilding my career and my name and just, taking the necessary steps, doing that, and it's been a lot of work, but it's been fun.
So can we talk about that for a minute, because there's a lot that has to go into rebuilding your particular brand. You start that young, and here you are at 27. What was that like to try to morph into the adult performer that you are now?
Well, I mean, the way it kind of went down for me, my mother and my father were my managers up until, I turned 18 years old. So, and then, they divorced right before I turned 18. So, when that happened, the focus stopped being on my career, and it started being on their, starting their new lives, together. So when I turned 18, I kind of was just thrust out there and didn't really have much advice or any direction of where to go, so I kind of had to just start figuring things out.
And you did a lot of that in front of cameras, right? So a lot of what you were going through was broadcast for everyone to see. What was that like?
Well, I did a show called House of Carters in 2006, and it was a precarious show, to say the least. And it was the first time all of my siblings had been back in a house together for the first time. So it was it was a crazy dynamic. But I mean, I guess you got to see the real deal. There wasn't anything scripted about it. But I know now for the future that that's not how I want my life, is on a reality TV show. So I won't participate in any of those in the future anymore. Yeah, it's not about that for me anymore. So I did House of Carters, and then I did Dancing with the Stars, and then I did a Broadway stint. I did over 500 performances on an off-Broadway show in New York City. So, and then I started touring again last year. February 22nd was the first time I started touring again, and just been rebuilding it on my own, and independently putting it all together. And
Love it.
Do you see some young performers now, and I'm just going to throw this one out. It's the only one that I can think of that's turned into not so much of a happy story, but Justin Bieber. He starts off as this kid with so much talent and so much promise, and then ends up kind of going down the wrong road. Do you see kids like that now, and you're just like, gosh, do you want to grab him and tell him something?
Not really. No, I don't want to give him any advice, because at my age, at that point, I wouldn't want any advice.
And
I didn't want any.
Be receptive to it.
Well, and the thing is if you're going to become a man, you got to go through the the circumstances that make you a man. You can't just listen to other people's advice and expect to be a man. You got to get through it, learn from those mistakes, and then be like, okay, this is what makes me a man.
That's
Do you feel like because when your parents divorced and you were kind of thrust into being responsible for yourself, that made a big difference in the way where you are today?
Absolutely. I learned that I have to stand on my own 2 feet. I can't really depend off of people. I have to be kind. Show humility. There's a lot of things that I think are entailed. With redeveloping yourself, and I'm transitioning into being an adult performer. And I'm also transcending from a lot of things in my past. So, that's very important. And I use that word, selectively, when I need to explain or enlighten anybody about my situation. So, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's just that I'm focused, determined, and healthy. I love everybody around me. I love my fans, the people who support me, that are giving me my life back and an opportunity to make money off of doing what I love. So, I'm very grateful.
Aaron, I want to know what dating is like for you. Because people do know your story. They know everything you've gone through. You're trying to reinvent and get back out there. So what's dating like for you?
I know where you're going with this.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to be nice about
Spill the beans.
Dating is really hard. It's really hard. It's like, I don't know. Who loves me for me or knows me for me, and it's a very touchy subject, but for now I think I'm gonna keep my love life a little bit more private.
Megan's available.
Megan.
He's speechless.
Okay, well, I just turned into like a little skinny Santa Claus right now. Blushing red.
I love how Amy just gets to the point. What are you doing later, Aaron? I like to be
matchmaker on this
Is
show
that
when
why
I
you
can.
wanted to come spend some time with us this morning?
God. Do you hate me?
So besides potentially going out on a date with me, what's next for you?
You're blushing and it's adorable.
Wait, who is her? It's just-
I think both of us.
It's only
hot
10:15.
red dog.
I'm like,
and
please
it's hot
don't.
in
The
here.
veins popping out of my forehead. You know, I'm blushing when that happens. Like, okay, look at me. Like, no.
We all have it right there.
You know, my God. Okay, wait,
What is
where were we?
next? What is next?
What
for
is
you?
next for you in your career?
You know what? There's a lot of cool things next. In 2015, you know, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening. So, sorry, I'm still.
And the
might
show,
have made a
Can't even
left.
think
the
right.
show last night was a big hit. Your new music is so popular. So
Oh
that
yeah,
has
thank
to-
you. Yeah, you know, it's been amazing this year. You know, I started working with some really talented producers, and you know, we're just moving forward, and hopefully in 2015 I'll be able to get some good music out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
We're glad to have
Thank
you here.
you so
today.
much,
It's
yeah.
Good to
Really
see you.
good.
Hard work, you know, hard work is what it's all about, and
And transcending. I love the choice
yeah,
of that word.
Yeah. Transcending is the word. You know, taking the things that you know I need to improve from the past, and you know, making my life and my career better. Based
You
on
sound
that.
all
like
do
great
that.
date material. We
You are
approve.
great date material. All right, Aaron performed at the House of Blues last night, so if you missed it, be sure to check out AaronCarterTour.com to stay up to date on when he'll be back in Dallas, in the Dallas area. All right, when we come back, Lisa chats with the woman behind the smash hit song, Let It Go. Idina Menzel is next. Stay with us.
What's her name? Idina Menzel.
Idina.